This is vlog 17 of Tanya's Twisted Tales. This vlog will focus on driving as a disabled person and just how important it is to have that freedom. The last piece of freedom and independence came when I was about 30 years old. Driving. Like most young people, it's something I wanted to do from the time I was 16. Unfortunately, having a disability and being of short stature made this very challenging at any age. You see, adaptations or modifications to a vehicle are so specialized and so very expensive. The modifications done can run as much, if not more, than a new vehicle. A lot of disabled folks are living in low income or fixed income. Few agencies exist to help pay or fund some of these expenses for disabled people to be able to drive. I got the runaround from a local agency for 10 years before they would help me with funding to be able to drive. Usually to get the funding, you must be going to school or working. Unfortunately, these government programs or breaks for the disabled seem to work against each other. When I was working very part-time for minimum wage, I was paying a huge amount each month for my medical insurance premiums. Not working, I pay nothing to keep my much-needed medical insurance that keeps me alive and healthy. Not working, I was able to get my student loans forgiven. I had already paid on them for over 10 years and still had far to go. I needed funds in the future for a new vehicle because I know I won't get the same kind of breaks as the first time around. The only catch with loan forgiveness is I can't make over the poverty line for 3 straight years. When you're disabled, there's always a catch. Well, back to my baby, my 2010 blue Grand Caravan. I learned how to drive in this van. I learned how to hit garages in this van. I brought some of my fur children home for the first time in this van and the last time in this van. I sang at the top of my lungs in this van. I cried tears down my face in this van. I had great conversations with my nieces and nephews in this van. It got me through rain and snowstorms. It got me to college my senior year and home after graduation. It got me to my first volunteer opportunities. It took me on family vacations and friend gatherings. I've gone to many rock concerts in this van. I've spent 11 years in this van. When she's broken, I'm broken. Her ramp and my scooter has taken me places my body would have never allowed. This van has taken me to the airport on several occasions to explore the world. Now, finding disabled parking spot when I can park using my ramp and scooter is a problem within itself, and perhaps maybe another vlog topic, but for another time. My van has taken me to cities and states I otherwise would have never seen. I know my years with my baby are going to end in the near future. I have a short torso and long limbs, the opposite of most short-statured people. This means I can't just use pedal extenders. I have hand controls. The left side controls the brakes and the gas, while my right hand uses a spinner knob to control the steering wheel. This leaves no open hands to take a drink, eat, talk on the phone, give the finger, or any of those other dangerous things people do with their hands while driving. I had to have 2 special seats installed to get me up high enough to see over the dashboard. I also had to have a backup camera installed early on and extra side mirrors to help me see with my limited mobility once strapped in the seat. The van was cut apart and lowered in order to put this seat in and to add the ramp for the wheelchair and scooter. I use this for longer distances that would otherwise require me to walk. Walking long distances gets me out of breath and tires me out fast due to my respiratory disease. This was a brand new van when it was purchased, and adaptations they did right after the purchase. I had to have specialized driving instruction come from hours away, costing a hefty penny. Thank goodness I didn't have to pay for that. That and all cost as much as a new van. I could not just practice in any car or van, but had to wait for a specialized company to come every so many months from another state away or from southern Wisconsin to give me lessons. It was not a great way to learn, and that in itself took years. I trained in a car, but was clueless how to drive a big van when I got mine. I only received one lesson after I owned my own van. I quickly hit the garage, scratching the new paint on several occasions. It would not be the last hit my baby would take. I only drove the first year on the highway, to and from college. I still feel more comfortable on a highway than I do on city streets. It is also so nice not to have to rely on aging parents, family, friends, local transportation services that are so lacking. It's nice to be able to be so independent, and this all had to do with me being able to drive myself. When I first tried to get funding for driving, the old man at the agency said it was not essential for someone like me to drive or to work. I would ask him to not drive for 2 months and tell me how frustrating and helpless you feel. Driving is essential for any adult, especially one that lives in places where public transportation is not around or would be a major inconvenience to use. I am already stressing about finding funding and making car payments for my next vehicle. And yes, I will always buy new. In my case, it's just the smart thing to do when you have such specialized, costly equipment installed. I am trying to get my baby to last a little longer. I avoid driving long distances, both because it's hard on my body and my van. I do basic things to take care of her and hope we can be together a bit longer. This is Tanya's Twisted Tales, vlog number 17 on driving and the disabled. Please subscribe, share, or tell a friend. We can all learn from each other.